What if trying harder is the thing making it worse? What if the tension you feel when something goes wrong in practice is actually creating the problem, not just responding to it? Check this out. Have you ever noticed the harder you try to nail something, the worse it gets? Where you have a few really good repetitions and then all of a sudden it seems to fall apart. When you play for someone else, a partner, a teacher, a friend, anyone, does your body tighten up a little more that makes everything harder? Wouldn't it be a revelation if playing well or singing well felt easy, opening, not full of effort? And the ease itself was the point. And what if releasing was the skill, not pushing through, but opening up, letting go, and releasing? If we haven't met, I'm EP Archer. I help committed adults over 30 who play an instrument to create beautiful tone and unshakable confidence without compromising who they are or the music they love. And I'm probably going to use some comparisons to the human voice. So if you're a singer, this will have a lot of relevance to you. When we learn vocal technique, what we basically are learning is the science and the math and the physiology to get out of our own way. Right? We also learn about the emotions that might get in our way. And as a singer, you are thinking, number one, about confidence, about how you feel about yourself, self-love, and then knowing the physiology, how it opens, how it relaxes, how it projects, how it vibrates, and how it compresses. And so as an instrumentalist, we can learn so much from singing technique, from singers, and from actually singing ourselves. More on that in a bit. Let's get to our Igor Stravinsky quote from the Poetics of Music. The creator's function is to sift the elements they receive, for human activity must impose limits on itself. The more art is controlled, limited, worked over, the more it is free. So when we're talking about limiting, what we're really talking about is giving yourself a framework, a structure, something to follow, a roadmap, a flow chart, if you will. If we go to practice music and we're all pent up with tension and we're stressed or we're worried or we're judgy or we're feeling less than, what happens is the kind of box and stuckness we put ourselves in is that nothing will work. On the other hand, the kind of structure Stravinsky was talking about is a framework. It is a certain form that you can put yourself into or a certain goal. I can work solely on my bow technique or just on my progression or on left hand finger pull-aways or pizzicato. This limit helps us to be free because then we're just free to explore and to choose within that limitation. It's the opposite feeling of being stuck in all of the other ways. Kenny Werner in Effortless Mastery said that most musicians practice from fear. And so remember, when we're afraid, we're in tension. When we're afraid, we're in judgment. When we're afraid, we're in the negative part of the ionic scale. It's basically like, if you haven't had enough water, if you're not hydrated enough, if you haven't had enough alkalinity in your diet, too much of all the things that create acidity, alcohol, caffeine, meat, cheese, all those good things, you become acidic. And to alkalize your body, you need more water, more green leafy vegetables, things with a higher pH to balance it out. And so what we need to do with our music practice is the same. We need to enable situations and frameworks that release judgment, release fear, release tension so that our chronic physical habits that are keeping us from being who we are, just like I said with vocal technique, getting our body out of the way, getting our mind out of the way, getting our emotions out of the way. And then we just become these amazing adults who are doing something they care about, and the information we receive is data. Oh, okay, I'm getting some feedback, and I'm getting this kind of a sound, and it is not the sound that I was going for. All right, where was my bow? Where was my fingers? Okay, how am I standing? All right, oh, my shoulders are tight. Okay, I'm bringing my body to the instrument instead of allowing the instrument to come to my body. And so even though Stravinsky and Werner are kind of coming from opposite directions, where Stravinsky is saying limit and structure enable freedom, and Werner is saying release, and that's how you flow, they're both saying the same thing. And for each person, we're all different. You may need way more structure to relax, and it might be as simple as I'm going to sing one note on ah, or I'm only going to play on an open string, or I'm going to stick only on one string of my guitar and not use any left-hand finger notes and only work on my right hand. You might also be someone who, when you constrict too much, you get stuck and nothing comes out. This is where it can become fun and an adventure and exploratory. And I encourage you to explore what is going to help you let go. Is it more structure or less? Where is that balance line for you? And if you don't try, you won't know. If you check out The Psychology of Optimal Experience, written in 1990, flow states occur when challenge and skill are balanced and self-consciousness drops. So just like we need to balance the structure, we need to balance the challenge and our skill. If something's too easy all the time, we get bored, right? If it's too hard, we get frustrated. So when you are someone playing music in flow, it feels like it's just coming out of you. Your instrument is a part of your body. The sound is being made from you. The music is essentially just playing itself. This is scientifically measurable by looking at the prefrontal cortex, by monitoring it. It quiets, and our motor and limbic systems lead. And that's a bunch of science that is just saying you're able to play without thinking and without overthinking and without judging and in a flow state. The way that we move towards this is with intentional practice to reduce our mental monitoring and increase our physical listening. So if you've ever done like a body scan where you're paying attention to the different parts of your body, this is very related. We are essentially doing a body scan as we play. We're letting go of the exact technique and the exact note and the exact tone and listening to our body. And that's what Feldenkrais said as well. When we have awareness through movement, we can't force our way to it feeling easier. We have to feel our way there. And I think you know that from interacting with other humans, from conversations, from artwork, from just hanging out with our friends. We never force our way to something easier. We feel it out. We feel how it feels. We respond to that feeling. Our bodies release what our minds notice without judgment. Noticing tension is the first step, and releasing it is going to give you a freer sound. And again, Julie Lyon-Lieberman, one of the heroes of connecting the body to the instrument, especially for violin, says, when we tighten in response to a difficult passage, we cut off the physical freedom the passage requires. That seems like, no brainer, right? But we're subconsciously doing this. We're just wired to react in a certain physical way. And that's just our fight or flight. That's not how we play music or enjoy or let go. And I think you all know the feeling. I used to clench my jaw when I was playing, and I had a teacher make me put a pencil in my mouth so I would just realize when I was biting down. And still to this day, there's some classical passages where if I haven't played them in a hot minute, I'll find myself doing that. Now that I'm aware of it, I can feel it and I can release it and be like, doing the jaw thing. But our body is trying to give us a signal. It's trying to let us know. And if we're just listening to that body, then we can be in touch with how to open and how to connect. Effortless doesn't mean easy. It means free. Free of the tension that comes from trying to be right or exact instead of focusing on how it feels and how it sounds. So when you practice, let's release. Instead of push, let's open up our body, our sound, and our whole relationship with music. So here's your application for today. Find a passage or a phrase that's frustrated you, that's created stress, that hasn't gone well. Play it once at the normal speed that you usually do, normal tempo, and notice what your body does. Just do a body check-in. Check in with your jaw, your shoulder, your hands, your breath. Do you tighten? Do you hold your breath? Do you tense up? Don't fix it, just witness it. Now you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to play it at 1/4 speed, and then you're going to play it at 1/2 speed. And before each time you do it, take a breath, release, ground, and release where you felt it. If you felt your jaw, gently relax and move open your jaw. We're not worried about playing it better. We're worried about releasing the tension that comes with it. When you do that, see if your sound doesn't change. I'm willing to bet that it will. That's effortless mastery practice. That is letting go. And 5 minutes of it moves more than an hour of grinding that same tension in, which is just going to make it worse the next time. The music you want is not on the other side of more effort. It's on the other side of less resistance. Flow isn't an accident. It's a state you can practice by removing what is blocking it. So try that practice release today. Come and tell us what you notice. Whatever you play, whatever you sing, come find me on Facebook under EP Archer. And if you're a violin player who's over 30, join us at facebook.com/group/adult violin. I'm there every day and I can't wait for you to come say hi. Your best music is on the other side. And I'll see you there.